Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on in to the message for the 30th of April, okay? And with that in mind, I think we will go this route. Okay, sorry, I was having trouble deciding on which deck to go with, but here we go. Two of Wands. Okay, so we may have somebody who's of two minds. Where they are is really good, but they still think about someplace else. They still think about some other, like, what if? Or this could be a feminine who loves where she lives, but she still pines for a faraway place. We got justice sideways. This could be a shared energy where there's like she remembers something that still has a gravitational pull on her, and she could actually say, it's not fair what happened. I mean, my life is good, but it doesn't erase the fact that it's not fair. She might have dealt with a Libra. When I said it's a shared energy, I feel like somebody else is thinking about her on the 30th as well. What are they thinking? Oh boy. Okay, Five of Pentacles, Chariot sideways, King of Wands sideways. So they're in a place of thinking about her and they have a lot of sorrow. They're thinking about either being apart from her, they're thinking about the way their heart still feels about her, they're thinking about even questioning, like, could I ever come back? Or maybe they're remembering the time that she left, maybe they're remembering the time that they left. It's because it's all against the backdrop of this is really sad. It's really sad what happened. I don't know who's to blame, but if two people are feeling the same way, and she's kind of just wondering about the path not taken or the unfairness that occurred with somebody who's at a great distance from her, someone who obviously is quite mysterious because of that moon, but then at the same time, it's because they're thinking about her. Maybe they're picking up on her feeling of sorrow at the moment. Maybe they're considering going to her, reaching out to her, but I don't know that they're actually going to do anything. What are you going to do? Character who has the Chariot, Ace of Cups sideways. I'm going to sit here and just feel like, man, I love her. I really, wow. Okay, so you're doing you're doing nothing but feeling the feels. Yeah, Eight of Swords. Yeah, I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. Okay, I've had enough of that character. Let's go to the universe and say, universe, give us some refreshing message on this, because here's my thing. I get, like, I don't want to tell stories or linger on characters who are doing nothing but sitting around feeling things, but then followed up with, yeah, but I mean, there's just nothing I can do. Because I feel like that is somebody who wants to give away their power. And I don't like to, there's nothing more to say if they want to give away their power and say, but there's nothing for me to do. I'm just so stuck. So I don't see the point in continuing on, because we already know they're wanting to be powerless. They're wanting to say, I can't do anything other than love her from afar. They could do something, is my point, but they're not going to. So I don't see the point in continuing to ask them any questions, because they just made their decision. So the universe, when we turn the universe, it's like, it's time for a new beginning. It's time. Come on, feminine, stop thinking about them. Feminine, call in somebody else. Don't let your mind drift to them again, unless it's to say, you could have had all this good, all this yum, but instead it's going to be handed off to some hunky, honorable, amazing Knight of Cups that's coming forward that I'm going to have a new beginning with. I'm calling in this guy. I'm not going to keep thinking about maybe a King of Wands who's still in a sideways energy, who fantasizes about coming toward me, but won't get off their duff and do anything. Maybe this is a better time. I'm sorry, I know I'm kind of like ushering this story forward pretty swiftly, but we don't want to waste a day or a night contemplating someone who's sitting there thinking about her but not taking any action whatsoever. And especially if this has been an ongoing scenario, because she's being pulled away from the good life she does have. She's not very present right now in her own life, and that means she could miss out on great opportunities that are real and that are present and right there for her. And in this story, it's the reminder that, especially if somebody's done her dirty, but they still don't have what it takes to come in and fix it, and they want to sit there and disempower themselves and insist that there's nothing they can do other than fantasize and daydream, I would just say, let's leave that alone. Otherwise, we compound and increase the, kind of like this longing and energy of dissatisfaction, and I never have what I want. And it's almost like she's going to blow it for her own self by not being more present and just start paying attention to what's around her in her general vicinity that is there. She holds the world in her hands. The world that she deals with, the people that are around her, that's who she should be paying more attention to, is what the universe is gently saying to her. Like, you've got a ton of amazing people around you, and one of them just might be an amazing romantic partner that you would be thrilled to interact with. So think about the people that are there for you. Think about the people in your general vicinity. Think about not people that are far, far away that aren't talking to you and that already did you dirty. King of Sacred Circles. Oh, I like this. Yes, get grounded. Call in a long-term connection. Talk to Grandfather Sky. We've got the need for her thoughts to shift toward permanence and relationships that potentially could turn into something serious. Not someone who already had a shot with her and blew it and still she hears nothing from. If we hear nothing from somebody, maybe it's better to just let them go and not talk to them anymore. Not even let them, sashay back through our mind. This is a good breaking point for her on the 30th, where she doesn't really need to give any more time and attention to somebody from her past. Instead, it's all about the new beginning with the new person, somebody that maybe her mind has, glossed over once or twice, or maybe she needs to pay attention to the people she meets, because one of them could be her forever partner, and she could have passed by them dozens of times. They could live on her street. Maybe they drive by. She waves to them in their white car as they go by, and she's thought, oh, that's a nice person, or they seem to be, friendly. And she's never talked to them because she's always still thinking about that person at a distance, that, potential Libra energy or whomever they were, who sits there and still doesn't fix anything. I should probably call them the King of Wands sideways. But everything here, the universe is like, let's just get busy. Let's just be right here present, and let's deal with what we got right in front of us. I think that that's wonderful. I think that's exciting. We have the Judgment card. This is time for her to leave those lonely nights behind, make peace with the fact that, and here's the thing, even if this person who's thinking so heavily of her on the 30th someday is going to come back into her life, the universe still says, but you don't need to spend any more lonely nights, feminine. Don't think about them anymore. Jump through the portal, make a reconciliation with the fact that they have not been beside me all this time. What leads me to believe they're one day going to be beside me? They've not taken any action. So why would I believe that suddenly one day it's going to be different? Why don't I instead jump through that portal, jump through, the different dynamic, and change the things that I dream about, the people that I think about? What if I get out of this lonely room and instead I make some changes in my life, and I reconcile with the fact that they're not coming back into my life. That King of Wands is not coming back. So maybe it's time to look at somebody else. I really think she's reached that point where I don't even think she wants to think about them anymore. There's something about, this is the breaking off point on the 30th. Maybe, it's the last day, the end of the month. Maybe that's just it. There always comes a day when somebody's just had enough. They've had enough of being strung along, or they've had enough of, wondering, waiting. They've had enough of I feel them pulling at my heartstrings, but I don't hear from them. So how much longer must I wait? And the answer is not another damn minute. Darling, your new life starts right now. This could be like the night of the 30th. She does a little release ceremony for herself. She may, do something symbolic, like write their name on a piece of toilet paper and flush it down the potty, or have a little conversation with them in her mind, look out her window, look out at the stars and be like, I wish you well wherever you are. But now I'm going to go ahead and put my attention on somebody new because it's time. I want someone beside me. And if you're not here, if you're still at a distance and you ain't even got plans to come and get into my world, then I am definitely ready to call in somebody else. I almost think she needs to like have a little conversation with them, even though they're not there. Like, I just want you to know I'm done sleeping alone. I want somebody wonderful and warm beside me. So I'm actually going to go ahead and welcome a new lover in. And this is where, I say adieu. This is it for me. I'm gone. I do think she's just saying it like to the sky above. I don't think she's talking to them. I don't think she's calling them. I don't think she's writing them messages. She might just be doing this for herself. Maybe she needed to hear herself say it out loud. Let me just ask, does it have any impact whatsoever on the person who sits over here and still does nothing? Nope. They stay in the Eight of Swords. They sit in the Eight of Swords and they remain in the Eight of Swords. I don't know what their boggle is. And I, even though it's a little bit like they're choosing to stay here, because there is nothing holding anybody in the Eight of Swords. They're not actually confined by anything other than their own mind or their own fears. So that's their issue to go deal with. But her leaving, her having like a little, farewell ceremony where she's writing their name on a piece of toilet paper and flushing it down the potty, that energetic, her letting them go, cutting those energetic cords also does not get them unstuck. It's as if this person is just in like permafrost. They're in this permanent like stasis, and that is where they still remain. That's okay. Maybe they need to be there until they work through some stuff. Maybe they're unraveling karma. Maybe they're on a timeline of healing, but we can't sit down and wait for them anymore, is what this message says to the feminine. Like the feminine and her higher self are like, all right, that's right. The royal we got to get on out of here. We got to quit waiting for somebody who's stuck because they may be never going to show up. So this is actually pretty awesome that the day has arrived where she's done. She's cutting somebody loose, the Tower. Wow. And when she makes a decision in herself, everything changes from there on out. What I love about this is this is, like the message for the 30th. This is coming really swiftly. This is coming really soon. This is big, big, big life shakeup, and it's on her doorstep. Princess of Sacred Circles, very lovely energy of she's going to feel like a brand new penny. She's going to feel reborn. She's going to feel like, oh my God, I get to start all over again. This is the Page of Pentacles. She may meet somebody the very same day, like on the 30th. She may meet a new person. They could be an Aries. Who knows? She could start talking to somebody new. She could receive a message or a gift from somebody. This is super awesome. Super awesome. It is giving and receiving some kind of new communication, gift, energy. Wow, and the devil is here. Because of this freedom, this break for freedom that she's had, and because everything has changed, and because she's receiving some new kind of offer, I think it's a moment where she goes, wow, I can't believe I was stuck for so long on someone who now it's so obvious to me they were in a very toxic place. Now that I was also kind of toxic because I was waiting on them. I can't believe I did that. Like, I think she is going to feel like, wow, I just got snapped wide awake. My life is all of a sudden better. It was one kind of simple thing for her to do, which was to let them go, to embrace the world that is in her hands, to start paying attention to the people that are around her, because there is somebody amazing in her general vicinity for her to start interacting with, talking with. It's probably going to feel like so serendipitous. It's like a poorly written movie. It's like, how on earth could I have gone from holding space for them maybe for months and months and months, and then finally one day saying, I don't think they're coming. I don't think they're showing up. I'm going to go ahead and let them go. I'm going to, whatever, look up at the stars, on the wee hours of the morning or something, or late at night. And I'm going to release them, and I'm going to be more present. And I'm just going to be living in right where I am, dealing with the people that are in my very life. And maybe someday I'll meet somebody great. And it's like, oh no, she like immediately meets somebody great. She starts talking to somebody immediately. And I think it's going to be like a head trip. Oh my God, I can't believe how long I kept myself kind of toxically stuck on someone who they themselves were toxically stuck. That is such a wonderful, like, huge, again, it's just like the cage has been lifted off of her as well. 10 of Swords. I think for all the time that she spent feeling so attached to them and waiting for them, it's like turning off a light switch. All of a sudden, she's not feeling the feels for them anymore. She has somebody new coming in almost immediately. And it completely, like in an instant, helps her to further dissolve the memory of that person of the past who waited and waited and waited and never did anything. I don't even know that she'll think back to them. And for a while, I think that they were her primary focus every day and every night. You know, first person she'd think of first thing in the morning, last person she'd think of before she'd fall asleep, if she even fell asleep. And no matter if that went on for months or maybe even years, it's going to be gone in an instant. It's that, I mean, the Tower is that significant, and her starting fresh in life is that significant, and that ending is that significant. She could end up with a Leo. Whomever this new person is, man, they're going to stay by her side. That song, I think it's Sade. Oh, when you're low, I'll be there by your side. Truly, truly. I can't think of the rest of the songs, but it's a great, great song. Let's go ahead and pull. I'm going to end this one here, but let's pull a card for someone whose birthday would be on the 30th. This feels like a very momentous day. It's a great wrap, and it's the beginning of the next chapter of somebody's life. So let's just see, for a birthday of the 30th, we start out with a High Priestess. It could be a day of like really awesome energy flow. We could have someone who's having a premonition of what their own future will look like. Princess of Wands. We definitely have somebody dressing good, showing off their great legs, feeling like they're walking into the unknown, but super excited. I feel like our character is going to go do something that they've never done before. This could be simple or this could be big. This could be a person who's like, you know what, today's my birthday. I'm going to go ahead and take myself out to that restaurant that I've never eaten, some kind of food I've never tasted before. I'm going to get all dressed up, and I'm going to, like, this could be the day that I embark on some new, passion, culinary passion, where I'm going to, get so into that cultural food, and then I'm going to start taking cooking classes, and who knows. Or this could be something where it's like, I'm going to go ahead and let myself do something I've never done before. Maybe an activity, maybe going someplace, or maybe deciding to, schedule a trip. I'm going to do this though. I'm walking into the great unknown. Maybe I'm going to wear an outfit I've never worn. Maybe it's a little bit more showy than usual. Good for you. We have a Nine of Cups and the Hermit. We definitely have a character who is totally like about themselves today and letting themselves do what they want to do. This could be, I'm going to treat myself to a little, whatever, spa day. I'm going to treat myself to doing things that I need to do for me. That's how they seem to be celebrating. This is not a person who's going out with a bunch of friends. It's somebody who is letting themselves have at least an hour or something just to themselves to do what they want to do. And I think that's a promise to themselves this year and into the next year is, I want to start making sure that I allow myself to be a priority. I want to do things. I want to go places. I want to explore. I want to do things that I care to do. And I really feel like our characters, they're all about it. They're doing their thing. Oh, how fun is this? And we have a 10 of Pentacles. Doesn't mean that they're going to blow off all their family and not be around their family, but they are definitely making themselves a major priority. And I think that's going to bring more balance into their life. And then the relationships they have in their life are going to be that much closer and that much better of a bond. Why? Because they're actually not run ragged. They're not exhausted. This is somebody who just learned how valuable it is to take care of ourselves, our health, our well-being, and then we can be in a better energy for our family members. So very nice, because this is not a selfish person. This is somebody who's, how do I want to say? It's like the right kind of selfish. It's like when we realize, wow, I really have to take care of my body, mind, and spirit too. So then I can show up as my best self for the people that I love. So very nice upcoming energy for the year. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.